We are going to look at what are the evidences there are available in Buddhist culture. Okay, so so preparing this presentation, I use a couple of books like Vedic Yuga Dharma by Raju Patel, and then Ashoka by the Charles Allen. Those books are with me. And Buddhism, the religion of Mohenjo-daro, Harappa and City, and Buddha Savidya Ki Khoj. And then there are a couple of references from the Wikipedia. There is a YouTube channel, Science Journey, and Hamara Hati. So, if you can see on the screen, we all know that we heard the history about how humans' life exists on the earth. And then after that, how humans are evolved through the different processes, right? And about like 2 million ago, human evolved. But all this history, if you consider this history, how we know that history is come to know through the archaeology. Most of the history, like dinosaurs, around the world, you found their bones and their structures, and also the evolution of humans. You found those structures and their bones, and thus you know the archaeological history of there. That's in general, you know about the history about the humans on the earth. Next. But looking to the Indian context, it's a very different scenario here. So in India, there are three different types of history generally. Conventional history is kind of Manyavati history. There is no basis of that history, right? Somebody wrote on the book and you just follow that book and that's the history. So according to that history, you say that this is thousands of thousands years humans are existence here. And then there is an educational history which says that in the Indian subcontinent, the humans exist only 10,000 years, and the Vedic culture is continued through the 3,500 years until date. And then in the archaeological history. Archaeological history says that they did not find anything about the Vedic culture, like the city, village, or Vedic king, their palaces, or any coin, seal, inscriptions, or any foreign travel notes. They nothing found anything on the archaeological evidences. But archaeological evidences only suggest that they have found the evidences of Buddha's culture throughout the history. So if you see the timeline here, if you can see that when after the human evolution, there is a Indus Valley civilization. We most of the people we know that the Indus civilization has been excavated in India in around the 19th century by John William. Then there is a Vedic period. This timeline is not accurate. This is the timeline that the Indians the historians in the Indian subcontinent predicted that this is kind of history they have available at the time. But there is no evidences of the Vedic period at the time. Then there is a period of Mahajanpada period, which is the Buddha's period, and they said that Buddhist culture is started from there onwards. But this is also not the truth. This is not the whole truth. So, looking at all these timeline, the questions come in our mind whether the evidences of Buddha, if you look at it, whether there are some peoples in India and around the world, they might say, what are the proofs that Buddha exists? So we are celebrating his Dhamma Chakrapavatana Din, and then other people who say, what are they exist, where Buddha is real or imaginary, right? And there are other questions came into the mind is how Buddhist culture spread from other parts of the, from India to other parts of the world. Then there are another question was there only one Buddha or there are another Buddhas? Then another question is, if Indus Valley civilization was excavated, what are the religion of their the people, what they believe in that time? And then there is another question: how Buddhist culture is decline. First it rise and it decline after certain of period time. What is the reason for that one? Then there is a question again: who was Ashoka? Do you know anything about how his history came to know? And then there is another question is, which language is ancient? Whether it is Pali Prakrit or it's Sanskrit. So these are the questions when we thought about the history, we should ask everyone or ourselves whether those questions are there, and we found the correct answer for those ones. So today I'm not going to cover all these questions because of the time limitations. I have prepared everything for here, but I am going to give you only the first point and the last 2 points because of this time constraint. So let's move forward. Evidences of Gautam Buddha. So if you see here in like 600 BC before Christ, there were the 16 Mahajanpadas. They were all the kingdoms following the Buddha's path, because at the time of Buddha was there, and then so after the Buddha's Mahaparinirvana, the 16 Janpadas fought with each other for the relics of the Buddha. But one of the disciples of the Buddha distributed the relics of the Buddha into the 8 Janpadas and 2 for the another Janpadas. So that relics has been divided into 8 kingdoms, and they all the kingdoms, they created a stupa at their place or in their capital city for the people to know that there are the relics of the Buddhas. So if you see here, this is a Gandhara statue. If you see here, there that is created after, in 3rd century for the Buddha's Mahaparinirvana. The next slide. So this is one of the stone pillar which is at the Sachi Stupa. This depicted that the 16 Janpadas fought with each other to get the relics of the Buddha, and the below is one where one of the disciples was distributing the Buddha's relic among the different Janpadas. So after that, in after 300 BC, in Ashoka's period, what happened is when he started to spread the Dhamma, he wanted to visit all the Buddha's places. So he visited all the Buddha's stupas where the Buddha's relics are there, and he opened the Buddha's stupas to get that relics from their stupa. But the one king was the serpent king in Kolya Ganraja. He was the Naga king. He opposed Ashoka to not open the Buddha's relics, because they are the ancient protector of the Buddha. So he could not open that relics. And it says that this stupa is still intact. It is not been opened till now. But according to Mahavishya, there is a book which says that the relics has been transferred to the Sri Lanka. So after Ashoka's Dhammakranti, if you see the timeline, Buddha's tradition has been evolved through the generations. In Then there was early Theravada tradition, and then one sect and another sect come of Mahayana and Vajrayana. And so what happened is, when Ashoka created these different stupas and the pillars and all those, the Buddha's tradition spread through the different part of the world, and then different kingdoms like Greeks and Kushans, they came into the India and they accepted the Buddhism. So, and they created a lot of universities in India. So, because of that, a lot of the pilgrims used to come to the India to study the Buddhism. So, out of those, this Fayan and Ising, there are many foreign travelers who came to India to understand the Buddhist tradition. So, I don't go to a lot of details on all these travelers, but they have very significant history in establishing the Buddhism in India. Because there is a one Hensong. He is also the Chinese monk and scholar. He came in 7th century during the India. Wrote down the Indian history of Buddhist culture, and he visited the most of the Buddhist places at the time, and he noted down all those Buddhist places. Like you see here Mahabodhi temple, and then there is a Sravasti where Buddha was used to spend his time at the time. So Hensong, he wrote down every detail of the Buddhist places. So this history is not only used for the, if you see here, the Alexander Cunningham used his notes to identify the Mahamodhi temple in the Bodh Gaya. So using the Hensong's notes, if you know, by the Britishers came in India, most of the people lost the heritage of Buddha's culture. Everybody in India, they didn't know anything about the history. So how that history came to know is very important to know, because if there wouldn't have been the Alexander Cunningham, and he wouldn't have escaped the Buddha side, we wouldn't have understand the Buddha, and we wouldn't have understand the history of Ashoka, and then Baba Sahib might have to consider another religion. I mean, we are very grateful to Baba Sahib at first, then we are very grateful to Ashoka, and then there are a lot of other different people like Alexander Cunningham or the foreign travelers who came to India, who wrote down the Indian history at the time. So Alexander Cunningham is one of those. He excavated all the sites from the Buddha's places from the Hisamon. So you guys have to understand this all the history is connected to one another, right? First, all the those Buddha's relics were Ashoka take those Buddha's relics and created the stupas, and then how the foreigners came in India to study the Buddhism, and they wrote down the Buddhist history. So this is very important. So now, when Ashoka, when he was the king, when he thought to run his kingdom on the Buddha's path, he was so Dhammamay. He was so Dhammamay that he wanted to spread the Buddha's message all over place. So every year he used to travel to the Buddha's places. This is one of the year when Buddha traveled to the Lumbini where Buddha was born, and it is written over there that When King Devanampiyadasi had been anointed 20 years of his reign, he came himself. And because the Buddha Shakyamuni was born here, he both caused the maize to storm bearing hordes and caused a stone pillar to set up. So this is the evidence. This is a clear evidence that Buddha was born here and he erected the pillar over there. Okay, next. So that was the excavation of the Alexander Cunningham, and then after that in 19th century was another Alexander Cunningham was called as the father of archaeology. But after that, if you see in 19th century there was another British engineer who was called as a William Pepe. So when he found out that there is a pillar of Buddha's place where he was born, he was get intrigued. He was trying to find out there must be a Kapil Vastu. So he led the team and he excavated the Buddha's place, Kapil Vastu, and he found, if you see on here, that is the Kapil Vastu where the stupa, the relics of Buddha's were there. But they didn't find it first. They excavated the site in 18 feet, then they found the Buddha's relics. If you see here, they found, next. So if you see here, he found these bone fragments in the waist. This is the waist where the Buddha's relics are there. It is written, the inscription is written on their books. That's how they come to know that this is the Buddha's relics. It says the relics of Buddha, and this is, everybody can see it. It is on, if you ever visit to the New Delhi, you can go in the National Museum, they have kept these relics over there. And there is a very beautiful documentary about how this excavation come to know. This is, I would suggest who are very interested in knowing how this excavation happened. There is a documentary like Bones of Buddha. You should go and see that documentary once. You will know that how they excavated Buddha's bone at the time. Okay. So I think this is sufficient evidence that Buddha was the real, and he spread the Buddha. He spreads his Dhamma message all over the world. So just I want to give you the evidence. If any one of you, anyone come to you that no, Buddha is not real, or this is like imaginary god like others, there are many imaginary gods in Hinduism. So you guys have to understand that Buddha is real, and then you have to preach forward that we can show you the evidences of this, right? I hope you guys are with me right now. Not getting sleep.
Very interesting information.
Yeah. So after that, we have to come to know, we have to understand who was Ashoka. Okay. And how is history come to know? There are so many, if you go to the social media sites and look for, there are many comments that, these people are, imaginary, but we need to know, we have evidences to show, right? And then there is a lot of debate on this one. What is the old known script in India, right? And what is whether Prakrit is old or Sanskrit is old. But everybody here, I want to assure you that if you know today that the Prakrit is the old language, then the Sanskrit, then all the scriptures of Hindus or Vedic culture will fall apart. This history is there, but it's only thing that there is no propagation of this one. That's the only thing. But we will move forward from there. So, anyone, you guys see the screen, right? Can you tell me what is the script and language of this thing? Anyone? Okay, I will simplify. What is the script of this?
देवनागरी पाली
Okay. What is the language?
पाली
Okay, there is a language is Pali and Pali Prakrit. So Prakrit language, there are number of Prakrit languages, but this is a Prakrit language. But the script you guys need to know. What is this? I will tell you later on. Okay, now what is this? What is this script?
देवनागरी
Okay, and language, you know that this is a Prakrit language, right?
पाली
Okay. Now what is this? Okay, that's the right one. And language, you know, the Prakrit. So the language can have, you know, the script. If you see all these three slides, the language is same, the script is different. So you guys have to understand what is the difference between the script and the languages. So the language can be a
What is Dhammalipi?
okay. That question I will let you know what is the Dhammalipi after this slide, but you just have to bear with me until then. But so this is next slide. So whatever we have seen on the screen, this is what the written on the Lumbini pillar, what we have just saw. Samrat Ashoka erected that pillar when he visited the Lumbini, and he write as in Brahmalipi he write down the message for generation to know about that one. Okay, so that one is a Brahmalipi, and then what we saw is a Latin script. Then there is a Devanagari script, but everything is in here is a Prakrit language. So James Prinsep, most of the people might know about the James Prinsep. Can you raise hand who knows the James Prinsep? Okay, 3 guys out of I don't know, but only 3 guys. But James Prinsep, we owe a lot of things to him. He is a very intelligent person at the time. He was an essay master. He was essay master in Bengal Royal Mint. The Royal Mint is the place where the coins are built. He was like he has what do you call he was James Prinsep was he has ability and he is a skilled essay master to know the quality of the coins. So what happened is when he was working on the Royal Mint, lot of coins came to him, like big coins and different coins at the time, like Indian coins also. So he found couple of coins and he deciphered the language of the coins, which is called as a Kharosthi language. So when he joined the Asiatic Society of Bengal, we publishing the different languages and also the publishing the articles on the chemistry, mineralogy and the numismatic. He was studying the Indian antiques at the time. So what happened is the Alexander Cunningham, he was sending him some of these inscriptions, whatever excavation he found it to the James Prinsep. So first he inserted the Kharosthi language, whatever written on the coins. But that's how he got interested in the archaeology and inscription in India. So once he know that what is the language on the, what he did, lot of, when he published in the journal, Asiatic Society Journal, lot of people were sending the coins to him to understand what is written on there. Because at the moment they didn't know the what is language. Because there are several pillars, the caves and stupas were written the different language, but nobody knows. So, but he got interested. This James Prinsep was very interested in that, and then he intercepted the language from Bactria and Kushan, right? What happened is, when if you see a lot of stupa, like Sachi stupa or Baru stupa, the inscription is written out there, but those stupa were built on the donations of the people. So donations at the time. So the people were, when they're donating, their names are inscribed on the those stupas. So thus how he came to know that there are two common words like da and nam. So dana is the first two letters he deciphered. That's how he knows that this is the word dana. Because this, if you see these coins, those are a bilingual language over there. So if you have any inscription and you know the one language, then you will definitely know the another language. That's how he deciphered the language of the coins first and thoroughly, and then he know that these are the two words, dana, and this is dot is ma, danam. So once you know that this is the word danam, to decipher whole Brahmist Ashoka's pillar. So these are a couple of the inscriptions. If you see, this is a Kandhar bilingual rock inscription, which is found in Kandhar, Afghanistan. But this is one of the kings, Ashoka king's inscription. This is written in two languages. One is Greek and one is Aramaic. And there is another 4 different scripts. He writes as a Brahmi script, then Kharosthi script, there is Greek script, and then Aramaic script. So at the time of Ashoka and later on, there were many kings came into India to know the Buddhas. So Greek came, the Kushans came, all they came into India to know the Buddha, but they accepted Buddha as their religion. But later on, when Buddha's religion declined, right? When Buddha declined, tradition declined, when the Mughals came and the Europeans and the Britishers came, they did not accept the Buddhism because there was no Buddhist religion at the time. So so we owe a lot to Ashoka. So now, how we know? If you go back couple of slides, you will know that they was written as a Devanapiya Piyadasi. But who was Devanapiya Piyadasi? Till then we don't know who is the Devanapiya Piyadasi. There is a mask stone where it is written as a Devanapiya and Ashoka. That is mean Devanapiya Piyadasi, who inherited the pillar at the Lumini. That king is Ashoka king. So that's how they know that this is the Ashoka's name. Piyana Piyadasi, that was they called it at the time. So that is written in there. So we have to understand this in the history, right? Any king when he going to decipher, written the different forms, you have to understand that people at the time, they were able to read that message. So the Prakrit language and the script was very predominantly used at that time. So this is very important point if you consider. And okay, so moving on to next one. So once the James Prinsep deciphered the language, he also created the chart. There were many languages and the script in India. So he created a evaluation of the scripts, how it developed. This is the 5th century BC, and then you see how the Dhamma script or the Prakrit language is evolved to the Devanagari script, right? This is the evidence. It says that Devanagari script is evolved through the Prakrit language or Dhamma script, right? If you have any doubt, you can search on it. Now, after that, there are many scripts happening in India, right? Originally Dhamma script, then there was Sarda script, the Dhamma script, and that is how there are different charts there. It is all this history is available, but nobody, most of the people don't know about this because they haven't read about it enough. So you see that from the Brahmi script, it evolved to Gupta script and then the Devanagari script. So that is whatever until now you have seen that the script is after the Devanagari script and how the Devanagari script is evolved to the Buddhist Dhamma script, right? But next. Okay. So how the question is also how the Dhamma script evolved. So the Alexander Cunningham, he proposed that these are the seals you found in the Indus Valley civilization. This is the oldest, one of the oldest civilization in India. He says that most of the people the Pashupati seal, and this is a Hindu god, and then that culture belongs to us. But the archaeology is saying differently. These, if you see, the Alexander Cunningham had put the hypothesis that these script, the Dhamma script, the script in the Indus Valley civilization, which is not deciphered yet. Nobody is able to decipher it till now, because why they have not deciphered? Because technology is so vast right now, but they couldn't decipher the Indus Valley civilization. Why? Because there is no bilingual seal, or at the time there is no bilingual inscription to know that, verify what is written on there. But these evidences, the John Marshall who excavated the Harappa and Mohenjo-daro sites, he clearly mentioned some of the words which is related to the Dhamma lipi. So if you can understand this, if you guys are here with me, you have to understand if Dhamma lipi is evolved. Dhamma lipi is from Ashoka's time period, right? And the Indus Valley civilization script is like 3,000, more than 3,000, right, BC. So this is clear evidence that he put forward that the Dhamma lipi is evolved through the script. Going on to the next. So bear with me. This is one of the. So okay. So last point. I will not bore you much, but these are the last slide of my presentation, where you mentioned that Prakrit language is the oldest language as compared to Sanskrit language. Why? There are a number of evidences. I wrote down a couple of points here. You can see the Prakrit means the original language, means it is originated from the nature, and at the time people were many Prakrit languages. Pali is one of those. But the Sanskrit, the meaning of the Sanskrit is itself is a refined, means Sanskari. It is refined language from other language, right? That is the meaning of that. Then Ashoka Prakrit language, you found the inscriptions, but there is no concrete. And Ashoka's Prakrit language is written in the Dhamma Lipi, but Sanskrit language, there is no native script. The Sanskrit is written in the Devanagari script. But you guys have see the earlier scripts, right? How Devanagari is evolved from the Brahmi script. So you know that the Prakrit inscription is older than whatever you found in the Sanskrit script, right? And then there are in technical field also, you know, in technological terms, some of the words like Ruja, Kshadna, these words, these letters are not present in Pali. Okay, these words are adopted in Devanagari script later on. So if you see a couple of words like Kshatriya, you know, see Kshatriya. How you write in Kshatriya in Pali? I mean, you guys have to find out yourself, but that is how it is. And then, like Prakrit language can be written in Dhamma Lipi and Devanagari script, but Sanskrit language can be written only in Devanagari script. And Prakrit language or Kharashti language written inscriptions are stone pillar, rocks, and cave. We have evidences for that, but the classical palm leaf or the paper. We all know that when the paper is, the paper or leaves, those are, invented. Paper weight, it is very earliest one, right? So now you guys know the Buddha was real, Ashoka was real, and the Pali or Prakrit language is oldest language in Indian subcontinent. So these are the 3 points I wanted to convey to you. If you guys know, that is, if you understand this thing, you will solve many mysteries. Whatever written in Indian context in history of India is, you will understand those are not whole truth. So this is the last slide. I thank you for everyone to listening patiently till now. But I want to give you a message through this one. Why I chose this topic is because of these two things. We know that Baba Sahib gave us Buddha Dhamma. We are but you guys can read. Sorry, I'm a little bit emotional. But you guys can read that. You cannot make history who forget history. So everybody here come from the technical background. We very little know about the history. We should know our history. Then we can pass our that knowledge to our kids and coming up the generation. Because if history is lost, you cannot make history. That is what Baba Sahib said. You need to understand that. And then another message is from the Baba Sahib is that I believe my people will sacrifice everything to establish Buddhism in India. There are many ways to do that. There are many ways to do that. There is no only one way you can follow that message. There are many ways. You can propagate the message. You follow Buddha in your life, then people can see and follow you, and then you can study Buddhism and spread the knowledge. So there are many ways. You can do the donations and lot of things you can do, but you have to understand that this message is given by Baba Sahib on 14th October 1956. If we can follow these two messages for here today, that will be good. Thank you all. Thank you for the gentlemen. Thank you. I thank Bhanteji here and all the people who gave me an opportunity to present this presentation today. I thank you all. Jai Bhim. Lastly, the presentation I gave you based on a couple of books. I have two books here with me. This is one of the book from Charles Allen. It's very beautiful book. It gives the how Ashoka's history came to forward, and there is one another book is Vedic Yuga Helmet. This is the book you guys need to read. If you know, if you guys know the Devanagari script and understand the language, you should read this book. You will get to know a lot of history on this one. Thank you again. Thanks, bye.
Thank you Rakesh for that enlightening presentation connecting archaeology and Buddhism. The study of ancient Buddhist sites help us understand how the Dhamma has practiced through centuries of our rich spiritual heritage. We have a lot of things, Brahmi Lipi, Dhamma Lipi, and yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Raju. So I only know English, Marathi, Hindi, and all the Kannada and all these things. But definitely, I'm going ahead. I can know that the more the languages and the scripts is there are, and I like to thank you, Rakesh Dada. So it's something like he truly captured the history of Buddhism in India through the lens of the archaeology. Thank you, Dada, again.
And please give him a round of applause for this 30 minutes long presentation, which was very informative.
And it shows his effort to collect each and every slide and the value or the time he invested into this. So thank you. So we'll have the next performance. I would like to